But anyways, let's look at a little positive news for a bit. Since
Yeah.
even though it's crazy out there, agriculture isn't stopping. It can't stop. You're not going to make it stop no matter what happens.
Right.
So with you doing stuff in the egg industry, and I wasn't going to bring up who you work for, but you're kind of decked out in it. So
I got to represent all the bulls I'm going to talk
I,
about. Are all
I,
bulls.
I knew
So.
I knew people would figure it out rather easily, but I was just going to like see whatever. But I wanted to bring you on. Bob and I have been friends since 2008 is when we lived together the first time. And then we lived together again 2009 to 2012, 10 there in Kentucky, both working for the same company. But so Bob sells semen down there in Tennessee, northern Alabama. Is that it? Or
No, northern Mississippi.
northern Mississippi. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to have Bob on today and since he gets out there and sees a lot of cattle, sees a lot of calves, I just wanted to see what bulls they're using, what calves he's seen out of bulls and what he likes out there, just so people can kind of have an idea of what's out there.
Right. So I kind of put together a list here of bulls that are kind of my top sales bulls. Bulls that I've seen a lot of progeny out of. Some of them I haven't seen much out of yet, but bulls that I think are kind of up and comers. A lot of the big buzz and everything that's in the Angus breed right now, is feet on these Angus cattle, and
Yep.
everybody's trying to find those bulls that'll make the good footed ones. Because like I do, you've been around me long enough to know I'm a foot stickler. I start at the ground and
Yep.
go up.
For sure.
Lord knows I've had some bad footed ones too. So, and I've got a select Sire's catalog here in front of me, so I'm kind of flipping through them here. So if I look down or anything, you notice me looking down, I'm kind of going through my bulls here.
Yep.
But our number one bull, he'll be the bull that leads off the book. By far, my bull that is number one in sales off the truck, number one in customer satisfaction, and a bull that just does a whole lot of things right is the Niagara bull, SS Niagara. He'd be a Hoover Dam son out of a New Day 454 cow. Maybe a bull that didn't catch on and get a whole lot of traction right off the beginning, but a bull in the end here that is definitely a high customer satisfaction bull that just does a lot of things right. His bulls look like bulls. His females, the udders on them are great, little short teats. Disposition's okay on him. At a 20, he's all right, not really having any problems there. But cattle that are just deep-bodied, bold sprung, big topped, and if you are looking for a bull to fix feet, this one right here, I've not seen a bad-footed one yet. There's lots of them out there. This bull just really, really does a lot of things right.
Yeah.
It's hard to find bulls that'll make both good bulls and females and go out and do everything, but this bull right here does it. Moderate on his calving ease. He's a 5 CD and a 0.9 birth. I've had several people breed heifers to him, not have a problem, even though his numbers may not read extreme calving ease bull. If you know your heifers, if you watch them, and if you know your pedigree history behind what you have, probably wouldn't scare me to breed him to heifers.
Okay.
I'm not looking at anything monstrous out of him, but
Yep.
This bull right here, feet and legs, and just everything's right. I've got several people that this is their second and third breeding season to go back and use the bull. I say, if they're not kin to Niagara, we're using him. So
cool.
That would probably be my top bull off the truck right now. Second bull, kind of behind him, and again, I'm going to stay with the foot quality deal, is the Rainfall bull. And Rainfall, as everybody knows, is about the big high dollar flush that sold at shops a few years ago with all those bulls. Well, this would be one of those bulls. It'd be a Charlo out of 4136. And he's a very unique individual in himself. Not very many bulls from that program start out calving ease and stay calving ease through the end. Rainfall has done that. He's getting a pretty high accuracy on his calving ease scores now. He's a 16 CED. minus 0.6 birth, up to 115 on yearling. Phenotypically, just a beautiful bull, patterns really, really well. Another bull that makes those females that you just die for, but bulls that are really, really deep bodied and, got some hip, got some muscle to them, got some guts. And like I said, another bull here that his foot scores are excellent, and only look at those going up. But, that bull there, even though his sire, Charlo, was not very well known for his disposition.
Yep.
It seems that these rainfalls, the disposition on him is really good. He's got a 27 docility score.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So, that bull right there does a lot of things well, too. If some of you've tried to use him in the past, semen was pretty tight on that bull there for a little while. But I can report to you, we are pretty well getting all the semen we want right now. I'm kind of stockpiling him up, getting ready going into spring breeding season here. There was a lot of people in the fall that we had to turn away on the bull just because we couldn't get any semen on him.
Yep.
But he is producing well, and I think he's going to need every unit he makes. I think this spring and going into this fall, he's going to be a bull that gets used a lot. But also, another thing that's unique about him, for the pedigree that he is, he's a 0.72 on his marbling, which is, for that pedigree, for that style of cattle, it's a pretty high marbling bull. So, kind of a bull that's got some carcass merit to him. Females are really nice. Bulls are really nice. Docility's there. Calving ease is there. So marketability very well on this bull. I'd say the cattle will be a little more moderate. I'm not going to have as much stature on them as maybe what some would. In the pedigree would kind of say that with Charlo being his sire. But but just an all-around really, really good bull. Look for him just to kind of keep going up as we go forward here. Another bull that we've got, kind of staying on the foot trend here at the beginning and going over my foot bulls. A bull that came here from Tennessee out of a test station is Remedy. Remedy's a little bit older sire, sired and born in 2011, but rock solid proof on the bull. I've seen a lot of these across the country. Some neighbors of mine right down the road have got some of the older daughters that I've seen in production, have been selling bulls sired out of him now for 3 years. And he's sired by Thunder out of a Bando 9074 daughter. And, the Thunders were extremely good-footed cattle, too. And Thunder passed that right on to Remedy. Those cattle are super good-footed. And, docility being a 25 on him, that's probably the two questions I get as much now as anything. Is what are the feet like and the docility. So that's two things that I'm always going to try to hit on. Now, these will be a little bit
People are
bigger
getting
cattle.
tired of being chased.
Yeah.
If they got good feed and can chase you, then they can really get you.
That's right. We're all getting too old to do that. And I think maybe a little smarter in our older age, too. Stuff used to be fun. It's
we used to have a lot of fun.
Yep. We used to have one that was quite the doozy, huh? But these Remedies just make super, super good cows. Just really angular, pretty females, deep-bodied, bold sprung, adequate muscle, really nice udders. Longevity seems to be there, really nice. But again, a bull that really good on his feet and legs. He's not going to blow you away on carcass quality. But a bull, if you just want to put back and make some really good females to put back in your herd, he's a bull that'll do it. Not a calving ease bull, I wouldn't say. He's a 2 CED, but he's a minus 0.3 birth. So I think if you know how you're using him, he'd be fine there if you wanted to use him. But just an older bull that I thought I would bring up while we're kind of talking about the foot deal there. Another bull that I'll go to I've not seen a lot of progeny out of this bull. Just a very few, and he's gonna be a bull that I'm gonna say is a kind of a diamond in the rough. A bull that if people will look, they'll find him. Man, when you start reading this bull across the board, he really does some pretty neat things, and that's a bull that we've got. He's actually in the accelerated lineup at Deer Valley Foxtrot. And Foxtrot would be a butkus out of the immortal Henrietta 643 T-cow. This bull here, I seen him when he sold at Deer Valley and fell in love with him. I mean, he is my kind of bull, kind of that 5'7", 5'8" frame bull, as wide as he is tall, really bold sprung, deep bodied, just a rugged, big hip, big muscle bull, big feet and legs. And this bull here is also one of our top foot bulls, and if I'm not mistaken, he is our top docility bull with a 39. He's 1% of the breed for docility. But when you start reading this bull across the board, where he really began to shine and where I think people might have started picking up on him a little bit is when we came out with these new dollar indexes back last fall with the new dollar maternal and the new dollar combined. This bull here is an 81 on his dollar maternal, so that'd be top 2% of the breed, and he's 289 on his dollar C, which is top 4% of the breed. You start reading him across, he's a 9 CED, 0.9 birth weight, up to 128 yearling. That docility number being extreme, scrotal at a 1.74. This bull should make females that are just. I think that's where this bull will shine.
Yep.
It's making those females that you can put back in the herd. And another thing that this bull does that would probably really appeal to the out west guys, the guys that have got a little harsher forage and stuff like that. This bull's only a 15 on milk. So, and his dollar EN is just at a -11. So these cattle with the good feet and legs, the good docility, good flesh and ability, and moderate milk should be able to go out in some pretty dadgum rugged environments.
Yeah.
And make it, breed back, and drag in a calf that's still going to push down the scales.
Yep.
So that's definitely a bull right there. He's not set the world on fire for us for sales. With that pedigree, I'm not sure how much of a splash he's going to make in the registered world. But definitely a bull right there that a man can use and make some daughters out of that would just be phenomenal and put dollars in your pocket instead of taking dollars out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Those bulls right there would kind of be at the top of the heap for my foot bulls. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about first.
Yep.
And then kind of move on into bulls that are still really complete bulls, maybe that we're still kind of building a little more proof on their foot deal, and some younger bulls that we're just kind of looking at what they're going to do.
Okay.
This would be my second high selling bull off the truck for the last 2 years in a row. Following Niagara would be Tehama Tonno. Tahoe would be a Tehama upward, which is a sits upward son, out of a final answer cow. And this bull here, he does a lot of things right too. A little more moderate type cattle, but deep, bold sprung, wide topped. I'm not going to call them extreme muscle, but enough muscle. He's a true calving ease sire, and he's proven calving ease sire at 12 CED and -1 birth, and he goes up to 125 on his yearling. And this bull here is another bull that will make sons that'll go out and sell for you and do well, but also another bull here I think that will really shine on his females. He really came out and knocked it out of the park when the Angus introduced the dollar maternal index. He is a 90, which is top 1%. So I really look for these females right here to shine. I'm really looking forward to seeing the females on this bull and what they'll do.
Yeah.
He's got some now that are in production, and what we're seeing out of them is there's lots of eye appeal in these cattle, but also good feet, good udders. And he is just a -8 on his dollar EN. So cattle that should go out and do it in a harsh environment should get plenty enough intake for those cattle to breed back and do well. But this is another bull right here that, people have bought him once, they're coming back and buying him a second time.
Yep.
And these cattle right here, the Niagaras and the Tahoes, they'll mate with each other and be a complement either way. Whether you want to breed Tahoe daughters back to Niagara or Niagara to Tahoes, I think that's a really good complement there and will work really well. Also, both of those bulls right there in Niagara and Tahoe, we do have sex semen available on them. So I know a lot of people are looking to make those females and everything. So we do have sex semen available on those two bulls, but two bulls that are doing an extremely, extremely good job for us.
Nice.
Another bull that's doing a really good job is Tex Playbook. So Playbook would be a pay weight 1682 son out of a Summit Crest complete cow. Sold a lot of semen on this bull too. Of course, some of the owners of the bull live here in the States, some customers of mine, and they've got just a pile of them and just keep on using them. These cattle are a little more moderate, easy fleshing cattle.
Yep.
He is a true calving ease bull too at a 14 CED. Maybe the power on them is not going to blow you away as much, but some big tops in them, big ribbed, deep bodied cattle. But I think the thing with this bull that really kind of he stamps them, man. I mean, This bull is consistent, no miss. And I think you see that a lot out of the 1682 son. 1682 was really consistent itself, and he's passed that right on along here to Playbook. And Playbook has done a really good job for us. Also, another bull that is really high docility. He's a 30 on his docility. And another bull that really shined real well on the dollar M index, on the maternal index when they came out. He's an 88 on that, which is also top 1% of the breed. So a big-time female maker here. Be moderate framed, good uddered females that should go right out there, go to work for you. He's actually positive on his dollar EN at a 4. So, should be females. And I've seen this. I've seen females already in production and coming back in their second calf. Fertility's there. They're breeding right back up.
Yep.
Just kind of fault-free cattle, doing a really good job. The next bull that I'll move to, a little different bull here, but Woodhill Blueprint was a bull that we picked up about 2 years ago. He is a Confidence Plus son. Confidence Plus died early. Wasn't a lot of semen out there on that bull, and if you find it now, it's $600 to $800 a straw, depending on where you find it. So here's a son of his out of a Sierra cut cow. First calves were born that I've seen back in the fall, and the best way that I can describe this bull is he's a lot like the old network bull that we had back a few years ago. I mean, these cattle, if you're wanting to add thickness, man, I mean, I think this bull right here is probably top of our lineup for adding thickness and explosive growth. I mean, these cattle are just ground pounders, man. I mean, just big butted, big topped type cattle, growing out really well. Just a bull that's doing a really good job as far as just explosive muscle and growth. Haven't seen any females in production on him yet, so don't know what our females are quite going to be like. But just the early reports that we have on him is, these cattle just hit the ground growing and it's really explosive. And for a bull that does that and puts that much muscle and shape into him, he's still a 9 on his CED and a 0 on his birth weight.
Yep.
The bull that you can get some growth out of and some really explosive muscle shape and everything, and not. Did I lose you there?
I'm still here. It paused me though.
Yeah, I got a call coming. Let me decline it.
Okay, there you go.
All right. Okay. But a bull that really lots of phenotype and everything there, and you're not having to sacrifice cavity to get that muscle in shape. Be interested to see what that bull does going forward, how those daughters end up doing, and I'm sure you'll see some sons that'll come out of this bull and hit in the AI studs. Kind of shifting gears a little bit more, kind of get into some carcass merit bulls here a little bit.
Okay.
Before I go into any kind of proven bull or anything like that, I guess probably if I get a phone call once a day on this, I mean I can just about count on it. There is a new bull coming out. We've got semen released on him right now. Semen is very, and when I say very, I mean very hard to get right now. Bull's producing well, making a ton of semen, but bull's name is Gar Hometown. So he's from the Gardner program.
Yep.
He's an Ashland son, and he will sell here in just a few weeks, and will probably set a record at the Gardner sale for what he brings. Don't know what he's going to do yet. But in my AI career of about 12 years, I have not seen as much demand, as much hype on a bull as what this one's got.
Really?
I mean, we've got people lined up out the wazoo wanting semen on this bull. A really good-looking bull phenotypically. He is a Ashland out of a Surefire. I'll talk about Surefire here in just a minute. But this bull reads as well as any you're going to find. Of course, he has no calves on the ground yet. Gardeners will use this bull, they said, as hard as anything they've ever used. He's a 17 CED with a minus 0.6 birth, up to 129 yearling. His docility is a 21, so right there kind of in the middle. But when you get down to his carcass merit, and his dollar values, this bull absolutely blows it out of the water. He has a 1.8 on marbling, which is top 1% of the breed.
Wow.
Over 1 on his ribeye at a 1.07, which is top 3% of the breed. And dollar B, we're at 241 on him, top 1% of the breed. Dollar G at a 119, top 1% of the breed. Dollar feedlot value at a 122, top 2% of the breed. And the new dollar C index, he's 374, top 1% of the breed.
Wow.
So you can see why
everybody's excited.
It's stirring up so much. I mean, people that I didn't think would get on a bull like this and use him are calling me wanting semen, and we're trying to stretch it, make it go as far as it'll go. I would say to any of you guys watching and listening out there, please give your Select Sires guys some leniency, because we're only getting a very limited amount of. I'm getting 10 units a month is what I'm getting.
Wow.
And I'm getting a phone call for 10 to 20 units a day.
Yeah.
So and one thing that I'll mention that went out. When we printed the spring catalog, if you have your catalog, they had this bull priced at $30, and they moved him up to $50 before we ever released him, because the demand is so high, and we just don't have the semen to go around, and so we're sitting there at $50 on this bull and still got back orders out the yin yang.
Wow.
So if you don't have a connection, if you don't have a promise to get some this spring, I would just probably go on and put him off to using in the fall, or try to source it. Try to sweet talk one of your buddies is going to get some of it. But this is going to be a very popular bull. If he holds up the way he reads, this bull is going to go out and do very phenomenal things.
Wow.
But just the bull, like I said, I've not seen this much excitement stir over a bull in a very long time.
Yeah.
So when Mark Gardner and them sit down and put out a YouTube video on one bull, and it takes about 10 minutes to talk about him, it's something happening there that's pretty special.
Yeah, for sure.
Now we'll go to what Hometown's Dam is sired by, and that's a bull we've got in our lineup called Surefire. Surefire is a Keneally Insure son out of a new design 50/50 cow. Bull that we've had in the lineup now for quite some time. Bull that I have sold a lot of semen on, bred a lot of cows to. In the past, sales have slowed down a little bit on him now as there's a lot of cattle out there. But a bull that's a Surefire calving age bull at a 16, moderate growth bull up to 107, but a bull that's still over 1 on his marbling at a 1.35, and that's got kill data behind it. He's a 0.82 accuracy on there, so that's top 1% of the breed. A 30 on his docility. I mean, you about got to kick those cattle out of the way. They, and seen lots and lots and lots of them now. Bull does a really good job. May not completely blow you away phenotypically, but cattle that'll grow, cattle that have lots of carcass merit to it, and daughters that are going back in the herd and doing a really good job. They milk well. Teat size is just about spot on. Cattle are breeding back, doing well. He is in the top for his dollar EN2, just a -6. So the bull's doing well. Also, another bull that really shined on that dollar C index, and they came out with it. He's a 310 on his dollar C, so top 2% of the breed for that. But a bull that's got that you can use on some heifers and sleep all night calving age bull, and a bull that really has a lot of accuracy behind his carcass data. Looking here, there's like over 4,000 carcass records on him now.
Wow.
So, the marbling is definitely proof positive there. Also, another bull on our fertility verified program that just knocked it out of the park, settling cows. Several of these bulls that I've talked about today are, I know Niagara is, Remedy is, Tahoe, Rainfall. All those bulls have had enough breedings now and everything to get in our fertility verified program. So breed with confidence there in your calving ease, fertility, and what they'll do carcass merit wise.
Yep.
Moving on from Surefire, I'll move to a son of his. That's kind of an exciting bull for me. He was raised right down the road here from me. Some friends of mine, the Elliots are longtime friends of mine, and do a lot of breeding for them over there. And they're family friends, have been for years.
Yep.
But Select picked up a bull from them 2 years ago by the name of Darkfire. And that even the name for him is pretty neat. Here where I grew up in Middle Tennessee, we're the Darkfire tobacco capital of the world. Okay. And Elliott's raise a lot of tobacco. And so they took a Surefire son, and I think Brian House might have had a little something to do with it, but we tagged him with the name Darkfire. But he is a Surefire out of a Thunder cow. And this cow is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, just about as pretty and angular and everything as you could make a donor female. Super, super good footed. The bull is very good footed itself. A bull that kind of does a few things a little interesting. This bull is extremely long. He's got an extra vertebrae and an extra rib for sure. We'll stretch them out. Really makes some very pretty angular females. Mm-hmm. Lots of growth there. Adequate muscle. I've got the Elliots have actually got Niagara babies, and right along beside of the Darkfire babies, and the Darkfires are right in there with them on growth and everything like that. I would say the Niagaras have a little more muscle shape to them.
Okay.
But the Darkfires are a little longer, prettier fronted, and a little longer spined, and their pedigrees read that way. I mean, yep. This bull being this bull being a surefire out of a thunder, you got 2 generations of Cavanese right there on top of each other.
Yep.
So plenty enough power for that pedigree. But I think animals that are going to mature and do very well. And he reads really nice too. He's a 14 on his CED. That could change a little bit, just the length of body and everything, and the shape of these cattle. There's not been any calving problems out of them, but he's a 1.1 on his birth, and I think that's coming from that extra length and everything that are in those calves. But man, they hit the ground growing and doing really good. This bull right here, 1 on his marbling, so still some carcass merit there. And just based off of what I see on that cow and how that cow's been producing, I'm going to say the females out of this deal right here are going to be phenomenal. And, you know, I have some history with that cow herd there. And going back through, I mean, the females there are always peas in a pod, no matter what they're sired by.
Yep.
You know, they're a really disciplined breeding program, and you know, all those females are super angular. And I can speak to this a little because I know what goes on there, where I don't know what goes on in a lot of other herds. But they're very hard on their cow herd. If they don't do it and do it right, it doesn't matter which cow it is, they're gone. So fertility, I would stand behind anything on this and say the fertility is going to be there. And actually, early data, we have a progeny test program here through the University of Tennessee. It's a partnership that we have through Select Sires, and we use a lot of young sires there. And there's they just get randomly mated. There's no rhyme or reason. It's a progeny test, and we keep up with fertility data on that. And everything that we do is a timed AI. There's nothing, you know, we're just trying to get true results on these bulls. And the early results on Darkfire were phenomenal. I mean, his fertility was extremely good, and that was proven by ultrasound. So, you know, a bull that I think, matter of fact, at his young age, we've already got him. He's a 2016 model bull, and we've already got him fertility verified. A bull that's getting used a lot down in Brazil and South America too. So a really neat bull out of a really neat cow that I think can go out and do a lot of neat things. It's going to be interesting to see what those females are like once we get them in production.
Yep.
I think we will have maybe just a handful of those coming into production this fall. So be interested to see kind of what he does. And then I'm going to round out my spiel here with kind of a unique bull for me, a bull that I like. Love the pedigree on him. And he's a Schaff bull called Supercharger. Supercharger is a recharge out of the 0075 cow.
Okay.
So recharge being a 4136 son, and 0075, I don't think there's 2 cows out of the SAV herd that have made more of an impact or that you can line up better for me in a pedigree than those 2 right there.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'm really excited to see what the females do out of this bull, because with those 2 cows in the pedigree, he's got Cowmaker written all over him for me. So sold some semen on this bull. Seen a few calves out of him, not a whole lot, but of the people that went to the Kellys to their spring sale up there, you know, really good reports on what they're seeing up there. And I'm just really excited to see what the females do out of this. I mean, I couldn't, for me, for the way I like them, I couldn't write a better pedigree. For the females. He's not going to blow you away anywhere on his EPD spread, really. But man, I think if you like good cows, those deep-bodied, really maternal-looking, soggy, ground-pounding cows, I think this bull right here is going to be the one to make them.
Cool.
So that's kind of overlook on the bulls here that I'm selling quite a bit of, bulls that I like and are doing some things. And I don't know if you've got anything you want to ask or anything like that and what I've seen, but
yeah, I was just like, what I guess what are the price ranges on those bulls? I mean, what are they going for?
all those bulls right there are going to fit in that 20 to $35 range, and Supercharger I think being the highest at 35. Like I said, the hometown bull that I talked about, the availability being so high, so low on him, and demand being so high, he's going to be at 50, and don't see him coming down from there.
Yeah.
But most of all these other bulls are going to fit in that $20 to $25 range.
Yep.
So very affordable for anybody.
Yep.
Um,
You got. I know the answer to this question, but are you moving any other breed? I mean, we talked Angus here. Are we moving anything else? Anything else? Doing anything down there?
I sell a little Hereford semen, a little Simmental semen, not much, but I mean, for probably 90% of the beef semen that I sell is Angus semen.
Yep.
You know, and a lot of the other breeds that I sell, Simmental being one, you know, I sell a lot of that into beef on dairy crosses.
Okay. Yep.
There's a lot of beef semen now going into dairy cows, on that bottom 1/3.
Yep.
Trying to get some merit out of those dairy calves, you know. So I'd say probably 75% of the Simmental semen that I sell would be going into a dairy cow.
Really? Wow. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I guess no, that's pretty much right. I guess, is there any? I don't know if they do this with select sires. Do you guys any spring specials or anything going on like that to promote?
I have not seen our spring special yet.
Okay.
But it's like on the, you know, I hesitate to speak very much because select sires, the way we're set up, you know, we're all individual co-ops.
Yep. Yep.
So everybody may do something a little different than we do. So I'll just speak to the prices that are in the book and what is put out on a published basis.
Yep.
That way, you know, somebody doesn't hear me say something and their co-op does something different.
Yep.
We get into a match over that. I don't want to do that.
No, we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But no, that's all I got, man. I really appreciate you sitting down and talking bulls a little bit here. And
no problem.
We'll do it again for sure. We'll stay in touch and we'll keep doing this as long as you want to do it. I think it's a lot of good information to get out and people want to hear it. So.
All right. Well, you have a good day. Go carry on, and
we'll do.
We'll just keep smiling, man. Ain't nothing else we can do. It's
Not much.
It's strange times for sure, but we're the ones that feed the world. So
that is true.
That.
Yeah. Well, thanks, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey, thank you.
All right. Later, man.
Bye.